Welcome into Sports Betting with Donnie, presented by RightWager.com.
Joy these days. 3:40 p.m. football here on a Wednesday. I had to go live. I really did. Just wanted to come on, hang out for a little bit. Who knows? Maybe I'll stay on for the entire game, but also do some live gaming betting. Got a couple books that I have open, and once this game kicks off, we'll have some fun. I did like the under 42.5 earlier today, which now looking at some of the odds and some of the lines, we're sitting in that 41.5 range across the board. Saw it as high at some books getting to 11, but now we're seeing that action coming in on this saying, hey, it's a little bit too much. It's a divisional game. I'm not going to take those double-digit points, and I understand that, but it's 10.5, but you're really going in on a contrarian level if you like the Ravens today, because we're taking a look at so many players that are out for that football team at key positions. Obviously, Lamar Jackson being out is certainly a big injury. Then you have Ingram and Dobbins both out in the backfield. Still going to have the Gus bus running, but then again, you're going to lose your fullback and also your best tight end along with your best wide receiver. Keep in mind also, McCarry is going to be out on the offensive line as well as Matt Skura. So now that gives you a rookie center, undrafted, making his first start in the NFL against the most devastating pass rush that we have here. Shoo! That's the part that's really going to give them the most issues. It's not that RG3 can't be a competent quarterback, which I don't think he's going to be a very good quarterback. But the fact is, you're talking about the quarterback of the offensive line that's never played before. It's not even like it's a backup guy. Hey, he started 6 years over in Cincinnati before coming over to Baltimore. That's not the case in this one. Big Franco says Big Ben under 259 passing yards. I do tend to agree with that. And the reason I do agree with it is you're taking a look at, let's just say, going through the motions here in the fourth quarter, where I do think the Pittsburgh Steelers win this game. Are you really going to be pushing the issue? You know, we were watching it back on Monday Night Football when the Eagles played the Eagles played the Seattle Seahawks. Once Carson Wentz threw that interception in the end zone, Seattle didn't have to do much the rest of the game. Run the clock out, hand the football off, and then you even saw later when it was like 4th and 31 inside their own red zone, incomplete pass for the Eagles, and the Seahawks run 3 plays that go backwards and kick a field goal. So it all matters. You have to be pressed up there. What's good, Jason? How's it going, buddy? Doing good in here. I'm doing good in here. I'm having some fun. Wanted to come live and, talk a little bit of NFL action, see what we have. What's good, Akbar? Welcome into the chat box here. RG3 turnover prop. I'm going to assume that's prop. What is his prop today? 1.5 for an interception, or a half for an interception, I would assume at that. I didn't take any prop bets for this game because I did want to focus on just, trying to see if we can get some sequences here where we can watch. And the good thing about it is, too, because I usually go live on sportsbookreview.com, and it's hard to do a live betting show in that fashion because you have 3 different people on the show or 4 different people on the show, 4 different actual outlets that you're watching the TV from. So at least this time I do have a couple monitors up with some different feeds. One, a non-HD feed here for NBC, which gets the feed about 7 or 8 seconds early. Then I have the HD feed, which is a little bit after that. And then also have the direct TV feed as well. So at least when it comes down to it, you'll know what I'm looking at, or if some, interesting things pop up, because when you're looking at 2 teams that you're not used to playing on a Wednesday, or even in this situation, it's kind of hard to just go in dry and say, hey, here's what I think is going to happen, even though I do think it stays under the 42.5, because I don't know if we get that offensive output you're going to need to kick up. And also, as we said again, you need a playing partner to get these totals. If one team is not really going to participate and put up 13 points, and the one team's favored by 10, you get to the fourth quarter with a double-digit lead possibly. How's that going to work out for you there? Hey, what's good, Jason? Do you like Johnson, Juju, or Claypool? That's a tough one to cross. Here's the interesting part about this game, because when you're looking at what you would normally come into an NFL game with, getting an advantage here, is the Baltimore Ravens have a really good secondary, and they're healthy for this football game. Have some decent linebackers, but you're really soft up the middle. No Calais Campbell in this game, no Williams, your nose tackle. So you should be able to run the football. But here's the issue about running the football. Steelers don't do that all that well. And you know me, I'm not a big James Conner guy to begin with as is. But there should be some running room and running lanes out. But again, how much is Big Ben going to be able to drop back in this game? You're talking about cooler conditions in Pittsburgh. But they know coming into this game, they're the better football team here. So it just batters down to, I guess if you have to pick a wide receiver, I'm probably going to go Chase Claypool, because he does get a majority of those swing passes, and we've seen him being utilized quite a bit in the red zone on those type of passes. Juju should be decent. Same thing with Deontay, but that's a really good secondary you're still going to have some semblances of for the Ravens. So I'm thinking the Steelers might try to work on the running game, get out with a victory, and I think that's going to play off of that. So that's what makes it tough for me to just jump in and say, hey, man, because usually we'd be looking, you know me, I'm looking for team totals. I'm looking for overs in these spots, see if we can gain an advantage. If, RG3 was not playing in this football game and Lamar Jackson was playing in the football game, I might be more advantageous to maybe take a look at a Baltimore Ravens team total like I had in the first game at 24, which ended up being a push. And as you saw late in that football game, Ravens got stunted inside, the 5-yard line basically to end that football game. Ravens dominated that game overall from start to finish, but just didn't win on the scoreboard because A, couldn't cash in the red zone, and B, just a little too many turnovers for my liking here. But again, you're not going to have that ability to have Lamar Jackson. Now, when you take a look also at taking some options here, where the offense should be able to operate for the Ravens, typically Lamar Jackson on a read option, he's very effective because you really have to watch out and make sure that you cover your P's and Q's and make sure that you're not just going for the fake on the running back or just staying with the quarterback. RG3 is going to run a little bit, but this offense is going to have to completely change. And I know there's some people out there with some of those, looks where they're saying, hey, you might have a better throwing quarterback with RG3. Let's get something straight on this as well. Backup quarterback. They basically had 2 walkthroughs after 11 days to get ready for this game. And I can't harp on it enough. When you have a young center that's going to be playing for the Baltimore Ravens in this game, he's going to have to make the adjustments, and he's never been in there before. And that's where my issue comes in. If you're just saying, hey, give me the points with the Ravens, they'll play hard. Sure, they're going to play hard. This is their hated division rival. But when you're down so many players across the board that can help you out, the only strength, it seems to me, that the Ravens actually have left is going to be their secondary. And that's where that, iron meets iron, because we do know that the Pittsburgh Steelers are certainly going to want to pass the football. But if that's really what they actually do, you might have to be playing into the Ravens' hands. I think the Steelers might slow it down a little bit, cold, hard-nosed football. I see it somewhere in that 26-13 range. If I'm trying to pick a final score, to certainly go wrong, I think that's where it will be. I think it stays under the total. I think the Steelers are going to cover. Be very surprised. And again, unless you're just a true, what's the word we're looking for? Contrarian overall. That's probably what you're going to get. Steelers not really affected, but also they lose Pouncey to COVID a little bit earlier today. And this isn't one of those things where you were prepared for the last 10 days. The Steelers have been practicing, but certainly not having their backup center practicing in that football game to try to, bypass it and get through it. So you do have a little bit of a downstroke, so to be, on the Steelers, but the strength of them, obviously, 2 decent offensive tackles. Ben Roethlisberger, being the veteran quarterback he is, doesn't matter if James Conner's not going to play. Few good wide receivers, decent tight end. They should be able to provide enough offense in this game, as you even saw in the last game where the Pittsburgh Steelers played the Baltimore Ravens. Cashed in on opportunities that they needed to, took advantage with an advantageous defense. And also, let's remind ourselves, this defense is coming after you for the Pittsburgh Steelers. You're down, as I said, your top tight end for the Baltimore Ravens. You're also down your top wide receiver for the Baltimore Ravens and a few offensive linemen and the MVP of the National Football League last year, Lamar Jackson. I'm looking forward for a good football game, so I'm just going to hang out, talk some football. We'll wait for kickoff, which should be momentarily right here. Just checking across the odds board here. Still staying 41.5, 10s, 10.5s. And that's a, Pinnacle showing minus 10.5, minus 102. Chris is showing a minus 10, minus 115. So about where we thought they would be. But anybody out there in the chat box, because I'm on a couple different things here: Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, Twitch. So if you're out there and you got some plays that you put out there that you're comfortable with, yeah, Jason, let us know. And if you have any questions about what we're looking at in this game, certainly be able to go through and pick through a couple things in and out. Got a busy night ahead of me with doing some college basketball stuff, but it's nice to have this in the afternoon so it doesn't interfere with a lot of stuff. Wife does work from home upstairs. You guys know me. I'm basically in my office 24/7, living the life, as I like to say. Jimmy runs deep. I moved Steelers 9.5, minus 130. It's not a bad option. The one thing that you do have the Ravens going for you is, I always joke, if you cross the 50-yard line, Tucker's automatic. But now you're starting to get into, it's December football now. Just a week and a half ago, we're watching these type of games in Pittsburgh, 60 degrees, Philadelphia, Monday Night Football, 62 degrees, no wind, no rain. Those now look like they're going to be out the window at this point, as we say. So here we are, kickoff right now. So we should be able to update and get some live lines in here floating momentarily. Bet 365 here over New Jersey, -9.5, -120. The Ravens get the ball first. Kickoff out to about the 35-yard line. So they get a good field position to start off. Let me just make sure I have a couple of these bets up here that we have live. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go with Unibet and also Bet 365 here in New Jersey. Try to keep it simple. They have a nice easy layout on Bet 365. Also like their team total odds, which a lot of these team total odds are certainly shaded to the over, which pisses me off because I'm an over guy. But some of these, they'll give you some advantageous stuff. I was real close to taking a team total already this week for a little bit of pain, but waiting off, trying to read some tea leaves here to see if we can get it. Guess Peacock isn't going to show the game. It's interesting out there, Jimmy, because when you're looking, I know it's on regular NBC, but I don't know if Peacock's going to carry the game or what that is. Swing pass on the first play of the game, 6-yard gain for the Baltimore Ravens. So obviously this isn't going to change all that much. And it's funny because the Steelers were 9.5 a second ago here at Bet 365. Now they're sitting at 10.5. So it's kind of funny how just, one play went for 6 yards and it was actually a positive gain and you lost a little bit on that. Total points over under here, 41 on the live action here at Unibet. Let's see what we got here. 41.5 still sitting at Bet 365. But I do have a little piece of the under on the football game at 42.5. Second play is a handoff up the middle. Not going to get too much yardage there. Maybe about a 1-yard gain is going to set up a 3rd and 4 early in the football game. And also when you're taking a look at it under perspective, you still want the teams to participate on offense being the Baltimore Ravens, because what that actually does is you want 1 first down, 2 first down, 50-yard line punt. That's what you're looking for when you're trying to take unders here, because usually, hey, nobody's doing anything. But if each team 3 and outs their first 3 or 4 possessions, only a couple minutes go off the clock and you don't really flip field position. It's the drives that go 5 yards and get no points. Again, to get back to Monday Night Football with the Seattle Seahawks. First drive was like 8 minutes. They got stuffed on 4th and goal. Didn't get any points out of it. Left the Eagles on the 4-yard line. Then went for it again on 4th down short. Here's the 3rd down play. Swing pass out of the backfield. Great play by the Pittsburgh Steelers. Punting now for the Ravens as we anticipated. You knew they would come out a little bit slow just to try to work some things in and out, maybe get a couple short passes for RG3 to get a little bit of, confidence going. But it looks like right now you're going to be able to punt them back deep, and we'll see what Big Ben and the Steelers do. And it's also nice for that philosophy of betting the unders or overs. Now the Steelers feel comfortable. Hey, 3 and out of them real quick. We get the football. Let's just see if we can put together a long drive here. If Ravens keep pushing the score, Steelers might have to go out. Yeah, well, that's the whole thing. And that's what you're looking for. It's about participation of both sides. That's what you really get into. So we're taking a look here. 10.5. Over under now drops a half point to 40.5. Here comes the punt. Let's see where this goes. Because again, it's cold, windy conditions. Looks like a fair catch for the Pittsburgh Steelers right around the 17-yard line. So 3.5 minutes gone in the first quarter. Punt down to the 18. Big Ben comes out here. I'm interested to see their game plan of how they're going to approach this game, because you would assume, and as I always like to say, the first half of football games usually is the most pure of the football games, or of the entire game, because it doesn't matter really what the score is. You're trying to run it up, where maybe as you get to that late 3rd quarter, 4th quarter, if you don't need to score, certainly not going to be getting down. So let's just say the Steelers now up to 11.5, over under now sitting still at 40.5. Let's see what we got going on, because also what we're looking at as well, sitting on the under 42.5, is maybe you can get in a little bit later in this football game and get a middle. Steelers handoff on the first play of their series. Looks like they get about 3.5 yards here. So running clock as we get going. And again, I do think the Steelers are going to play not conservative on offense, but not really rolling out the red carpet with just blitzing it up and down the field and showing new plays. But I do think also the Baltimore Ravens on defense are going to have a pretty good showing. They're down a couple pass rushers, down a couple defensive linemen, which is exactly what you would want if you're trying to sit on an under. If you're down a couple DBs, what's the other team do? Fire away and shoot the football off downfield. So now we actually got 5 yards on that first carry. Big Ben back to pass on 2nd and 5 is going to go deep. And dropped by Chase Claypool on the outside. So there we go. 3rd and 5, 11:57. Still in the first quarter. Over under here, live line 39.5 and 10.5 still. So they are going to take deep shots. They're not going to really, go back and forth until we get some first downs here on this drive. But I'm interested to see what happens. That's a great pass by Big Ben. That should be a play that's made. Marcus Peters right there on a bang-bang shot. But as I said, again, strength of the team for this game for the Baltimore Ravens is definitely their secondary. 3rd and 5. Let's see what we got here. Big Ben dropping back to pass. He's under pressure. He gets hit. Incomplete pass over the middle. So defensive struggle already setting up right now between both of these football teams. All right. Let's see what Unibet's popping up here. Over under 40.5. Looks like 40.5 at both outlets here. All right. Punt coming up here. Probably going to get a nice commercial. Nice strong hit on Big Ben in the pocket. No penalty called on that one. Good. See, glad they're calling it that way. See where this punt ends up. And it's off. Let's see. Nice short kick here. No fair catch. Flag down on the play. So catch the ball. So it looks like at the 35-yard line, I'm going to assume it's probably a holding penalty, which will put you back to the 25, which is perfect. So let's see where this comes out because it looks like it came right off the line of scrimmage here. Let's see here. Ron Torbert. All right, let's see who's got this penalty out on here. Oh, it looks like holding. Yep. Exactly. So I'll push the ball back to the 25-yard line. That should certainly help our under look in this game. TV timeout on the field, 2 possessions, only killed about, not even 4 minutes of clock so far. And that over-under sitting at 40.5. Still like the under in this game. Still like the Pittsburgh Steelers. Now we'll see if they maybe, open it up a little. But if you're the Baltimore Ravens, what are you trying to do primarily in this game? I'm just trying to stay close, to be honest with you. That's all I'm trying to do in this one. But anytime you see 2, again, it's nice that you got, 2 3-and-outs because it's better than obviously giving up points. But you're not burning any clock here. I would like to see a first down or 2. And, field goals are certainly your best friend, specifically when they're running down the field. If they're going to do that, just keep them out of the end zone. That should certainly help in that aspect here. What do you got here? What's up with calling this SNF in the bottom corner NBC? It's probably just an offshoot there. That's all that is. That's all. Yeah, almost like a partnership there. Hey, because it's supposed to be Sunday Night Football. It's, NBC, and they'll just keep it that direction anyway. So 39.5, 10.5. What do we got? Unibet. Let's go across the board here. What do they have here? 40 still in that chart. Still like that under 40. Ravens plus 10. Now we'll see what happens on this drive. I would like to see the Ravens get a couple first downs here. We're looking. See, here's the discrepancy. I'm looking at Fox Bet right now. They have a live number of minus 14.5 now for the Pittsburgh Steelers, and over under of 43. So that's fantastic. I would take that under in a heartbeat. CBB show. I don't have a CBB show, Akbar. I don't have one. Did one last year on sportsbookreview.com, but we got 3 pretty good guys that are doing that this year, which frees me up certainly to do a couple things. But, NFL, we run right through till obviously February. Gives you a couple weeks off, and then Major League Baseball season is here, and I'll be doing that each and every day, and I can't wait for that. So get ready for those team total actions to certainly fly over here. But yeah, I don't understand. Yeah, see, you guys checking around some of these books out here. There's big swings. I got 38.5 now as a live line from Bet365. And as I flip it back over to Fox Bet, 43. Look at that. It's a 5-point swing right there just between 2 books. And I do sit here in New Jersey as I put these plays in and I'm watching these games. And it's, there's a lot to knock on New Jersey as being a tough place to live, which how much we pay in taxes and do all that stuff. But I got to say, it is the sports betting capital of the world with options and outlets that you can use. It's fantastic. All right, here we go. Let's start up this second drive here by the Baltimore Ravens, 11:44 on the clock. 1st and 10 from, as I said, from their own 25 with that penalty. Fumble already. Now, this is going to really hurt. This is what you anticipated by having a bad offense that's not used to having RG3 a quarterback and Gus Edwards. Drop that ball down. Now, this will be interesting to see because that's going to shoot that over-under right up. As I see now, the Pittsburgh Steelers, that game goes to 42. And off the board here at Fox Bet and also Unibet. So 42 drops it right up. But that's a big play right there. And that's what you can't have because now you might see that spiraling factor And I was even looking at, one of the plays I know a couple of my guys are on as well was the Pittsburgh Steelers -6.5 in the first half. I did agree with that. I thought that was the right move to go. You figure if they're going to win the football game, and I do think they're going to win, that they're going to be able to get that done. But now you just have that simple, flipping of the field position. Let's see how the Baltimore Ravens respond here on defense, because now we're sitting at that 13.5 range, over under 42.5. First play is a handoff up the middle, which only gets 1 yard. Because again, I think they're going to be real conservative in this game for the Steelers, just factoring and banking on that. They don't think the Ravens can do that much on offense, and I don't think they will. Second down and long. Just going over still the starting lineup. So, man, it's Wednesday. Usually I'll be sitting here Monday Night Football or Sunday and getting after this game. This is wild stuff, man. It really is. Yeah, but see, there you go. Marlon Humphrey, Chuck Clark, Jimmy Smith, eighth overall cornerback rating. They got a good secondary. And the one thing that the Pittsburgh Steelers are going to be hurt on as the year goes on, they can't run the football. Dump off over the middle. That should be able to get a first down. First and goal here, Pittsburgh Steelers about the 7-yard line. And this game could get ugly really quick, because the Ravens, as we said, wanted to try to keep it close. And keeping it close means run the football, throwing stuff into the flat, just move, flipping field position. You can't drop the football, certainly. But I do like the fact that the Pittsburgh offense now gets a chance to operate outside of James Conner on defense. So, all right, first and goal. Everybody's off the board here with these live sports books. That's going to hurt my 42.5 position here. If they're able to punch us in, it'd be wonderful if the Ravens can step up. Toss sweep out to the left-hand side. A clear holding penalty, which should send this back. Let's see if they throw it. Wow. That's really interesting. Woo. We'll put that on Twitter, man. Steelers got away with a holding penalty on that one. My goodness. Jeez. Anybody sees that coming up there in a row? Yeah, that was fun. I think it was up to 17. I think it was. And that was a fun run there. You see the latest pics of the Blue Jays of Vladdy Jr. Yeah, about time, Vlad, man. I mean, come on, brother. Get in shape out there. So that's a key call. Now you have second and goal. Short pass, no yards at all. So now you're going to have third and goal from the 5-yard line here for the Steelers. But my goodness, what a holding. Because that's a huge, huge penalty, specifically when you're looking at totals here. Over-unders now popping up 41.5. Would love to see the Steelers get held here on this third down. Not trying to force anything right here. Dump offs out, just getting Big Ben out here in a clean pocket. We'll see if they can put some pressure, because you do have some Steelers that can go up and get the ball. Chase, here's where we talked about earlier, where Chase Claypool's in the red zone. We'll see if it holds up and is active here. All right, 9:22 on the clock here. Pittsburgh Steelers, third and goal from the 5-yard line. Empty back set. Big Ben throws, and that's down to about the 1-yard line, 4th and 1. If I'm the Steelers, I'm going for this on 4th down. Because the Baltimore Ravens can't move the football. Sometimes, hey, let's get points and get out of here. No. You go for it here. Absolutely. You're right, Combat Sports. You absolutely go for it here. And it makes the most sense. So they got 4th and goal, 8:50 left on the clock. Harbaugh's upset about something, trying to make changes. Let's see if we get a timeout like we always get on 4th down. Let's see, 6 seconds, 5 seconds on the play clock, 4 seconds on the play clock, 2. Let's see. They did get it off. So 4th down, they're passing empty back set. Nobody's open. So Big Ben's running around in the pocket. He's under pressure, lobs it up. Big Ben. There we go, underbackers. There we go, baby. There we go, underbackers. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Big Ben being Big Ben. All right, put that out on Twitter. All right. So just a dumb play by Big Ben. They don't get any points out of it. Wasted it on the clock. Over under drops to 36.5 now. That's what we were waiting for here. And if you guys are tuning in watching the show here, likes, thumbs up, Facebook, whatever they do on Twitch, Facebook, I don't know what they do over there, but subscribe to the channel. This is fun. It's fun. Little afternoon cocktail hour, talking some football, but that really just helped us out. So now we have the 42.5. Bet365 is showing 36.5 as the over-under. Let's let that go down a little bit more. Let's see if we can pick up like one of those double-digit, middles that we can offset a little bit and see if we can hit it there. But that was just an awful, awful play by Big Ben. But then again, what were you going to do? And you know what the even bigger issue with that play was too? How about the interception in the end zone? Brother, take a knee, man. Get at the 20-yard line. Runs it out to about the 5-yard line. So essentially, the interception really didn't factor into that play overall. Would have been terrible because if you throw the interception in the end zone, take a knee, instead of that ball being on like the 2-yard line, it's up to the 20-yard line. You intercept the ball, you come out with it, they get the ball back at the 5 or 6-yard line. So that's also a stupid move that happens. But yes, Akbar, we did need that. That's beautiful. So now the Steelers sitting at that 9.5 range. We'll see how interesting the offense gets now for the Baltimore Ravens in this spot. So we'll see what happens on this one, but not yet jumping in here on any one of those totals, but it's nice now. Now you're moving that needle south where if you got 42.5, maybe we try to get in somewhere around that 30 range if it gets there. So then you can look at almost like a 2-touchdown middle that you can just sit back and have some fun with, because one of these teams is probably going to get desperate towards the end of the game. You would think it would be the Baltimore Ravens at this point, but then again, how do they move the football? Look, you guys in the chat box, right? How are we moving the football for the Ravens in this game? Slow, older quarterback backup. Not a great offensive line to begin with. That's now damaged with COVID. You lost Ronnie Stanley in the last Steelers game, your best offensive lineman. Young kid at center. Quarterback that can't move the football all that well. Are we just throwing it deep, trying to hope some things happen out here? I don't know. Showing that replay again for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Yeah, that was at the 1-yard line. You know what I also hate too? And I guess it's just the new NFL, the new wave NFL. Big Ben had the tight end open right over the middle to begin with and just held it on a little bit. And I don't know what he was throwing to after that. But don't you like to have at least a running, like start under center, at least have a running back that you can give the appearance of running the football? Just so somebody has to think about it. It's amazing. All right, and another simple handoff up the middle, about 1-yard gain here for the Baltimore Ravens. 8:15 left on the running clock here in the first quarter. So this is looking sweet here so far. Just don't need any stupid turnovers here by the Baltimore Ravens, and we should be able to hang around and do some things in this stuff. Let's go, Ravens. Come on, first down, Ravens. That's what we want here. Like the last thing you want to do is when you have that rookie center who's never played before is go up against that front line for the Steelers. My goodness, man. Like you finally get a start here if you're RG3. Like, all right, cool. I get a COVID start against the healthy Steelers. It doesn't work out that well usually. Second down, and we are running the football with RG3 out of the backfield. Looks like he'll squeeze about 4 or 5 yards over on the end to make it somewhat doable on third down. We'll see what John Harbaugh and the boys have to do on that end. But now we're sitting down around that 7.5 minute range and a running clock right here. See if I can get a retweet out on this too. Where did I put that number at? 11 minutes, 15 minutes. How long have we been on the air for? About 25 minutes so far. See if I can go back and find a couple of these more live stuff. 24 minutes. Come on, where are you? Let's check on regular Twitter here. Get off TweetDeck. All right, so we got 3rd and 4, 7 minutes to go. Running clock. RG3 drops. Oh, my God, RG3. Oh! RG3 throws a pick six. I mean, this is ugly. This is ugly. Woo, goodness gracious. Man, he stinks. Holy cow. Woo. Wow. There you go. So maybe the Steelers don't have to score at all today. Holy moly. RG3 upset. Somebody went the wrong way. Oh, my goodness. This is going to get bad. Shoo. You like that play out there, huh? Nice little clean read by RG3. Extra point is no good. So that helps. Works. So basically, you got 2 field goals here in the first half. So you take every point helps, man. Every point helps. But that's people sitting on that first half, man. You sitting on that first half, 6.5. Oh, man. That's not fair. It really isn't. Like, gamblers don't deserve that, man. It should be 7-0. Sitting on 6.5. Because even if you had the plus 6.5, right? Let's see. Shoot out a couple tweets here. That's pretty rough, man. Like, how many times have you guys been there before when you're betting a total? I like to bet team total overs. And, you're trying to stay off key points, right? The 24s, 27, 27.5, 28. Try to stay off those. Or somehow, if it's ridiculously low and you can get in on those 16.5s, which show up every once in a while, or those Dallas Cowboys that show up around that 14 range when they have Ben DiNucci and whatnot at quarterback. But that's a tough one, man. It's not even fair, though. Like you win that way. That's supposed to be an automatic, man. Move that thing up. That's a brutal, brutal shot. Now we have the 42.5 back. So right back where we were to start, nothing gained. That Eagles touchdown brutal hit was 6.5 as well. Got to tell you, Akbar, I'm looking to go for maybe a little bit more pain this week in some way on the Philadelphia Eagles. Zach Ertz got activated today, but it's just so tough. If you guys follow me on Twitter, I like to break down sometimes, go through the game films. I did it a lot last year, but now at the end of the year coming down where I'm just trying to focus on what's crazy and what's not crazy, trying to get a better look at these teams. You know what team I actually want to go through and look at, maybe over the next 24, 48 hours? I want to see the Jets offense on the coaches film. I want to see what Sam Darnold is actually looking at, to be honest with you. I want to see if it's his issue or if it's just Adam Gase just not dialing up plays to get those wide receivers open or not, because that was a horrendous performance on Sunday. Now they're coming back against a pretty poor defense that you saw give up so many points. So many points, look bad scoreboard-wise against the Atlanta Falcons. Not bad weather here in New Jersey coming up for this Sunday. I want to see what that has to offer to see if anything is possible in that game. God damn, RG3, that was rough, man. What are you doing out there, brother? I mean, that was really bad. Just live with the punt. So basically, that's 2 turnovers that he's had inside the 20-yard line. I mean, what are we doing here? On your own 20-yard line for the nonsense. Tough stuff right there. Get that out on YouTube. Get that out on Periscope. But here we go. Now back to where we're back to the drawing board for me, right? 42.5 over under spread now jumps up to 13.5. And that touchdown was probably the best thing that you could look for in the way of the Ravens. Now, this game can start to go to 2 ways here because it's not out of the realm yet, 7-0. You're still going to try to run your offense or what you had previous coming into the game with your philosophy. But when does it turn into where they just start throwing it around and say, we ain't going to win this game anyway? To just get a bailout, because you could get the team hype, you could stick around. Hey, we can play with the Steelers. And then it just goes completely awry. So RG3 running for his life right now, first down, able to pick up about 4 or 5 yards. There is a flag down. We'll see if that's in the backfield or the defensive backfield. But Robert, RG3, Robert Griffin III looking like he's a little spry in this game. Kind of impressed. Looks like he can run here. But that is holding on the offense, which will give him a 1st and 20. So here we go. So that'll push him back. And automatically, when you're in 1st and 20 for the Ravens, what do you do here? Should you just hand it off 3 times and punt? Well, let's try again to get in front of the sticks next time. Because if they just keep pressing down with RG3, with those weak wide receivers and weak offensive line, they're really going to get busted up. All right, so here we go. It's 1st and 20. Running clock here, 6:44 in the first quarter. 4 wide receivers, 1 tight end, no running back here for RG3. Drops back to pass. Got a pretty clean pocket. Simple dump off for about 5 yards. That's what you're going to get out of this offense. Think and dump down the field, so that clock will start here in just a few moments once they place the ball at 6:30. Again, continuously here with a running clock. But that's Joe Hayden stepping up. About time. Getting some news here from the Las Vegas Raiders. John Gruden said offensive tackle Trent Brown was at practice today, so that certainly could help. There's no way you can – does anybody factor in and can say that they want to get in and bet on the New York Jets this weekend? I know some people last week were looking at the Jets going, hey, you know what? This might be their week to win. Dolphins coming to town, banged up Dolphins. All right, RG3 drops back, second down and 15, and I don't know what he's doing, but he's down for a sack. That's the first sack here by the Pittsburgh Steelers on third down. Good that it wasn't an incompletion. Clock keeps running. Now here's where we play the fun game in the NFL is, are we going to do a draw play or are we going to do a swing pass here on third down? Because you certainly ain't throwing that ball deep. Just an absolute, geez, man, that was like a three-man pass rush too. My goodness. Oh, my God. Down for the count, RG3. All right, 5:22 with the running clock. 3rd and 23. Let's see. We going draw? We going draw here? Who wants to call it with me? There it is, the draw. Running to the outside, picking up about 6 yards. Keep that clock moving, and a punt on the football field from their own 25. Now I'm seeing some things come up at 365 minus 15.5 and over under 40.5. We'll see where this punt goes. But now you're starting to see what we were factoring before this game anyway for the Baltimore Ravens was they weren't going to be able to move the football all that well. And they should be able to play some decent defense at least. But that's now what we're getting. Punt here from the Baltimore Ravens. Let's see where this ball lands. Not a bad kick. Not a bad kick at all. Fumble. Oh, my God. Look at this. Is amazing. Wow. You guys will see this in a couple seconds here. I mean, you can't. This is unbelievable, man. This is unbelievable. Pittsburgh Steelers fumble the punt recovered by the Baltimore Ravens, opening up that door. Man. Woo. Again, those 6-point backers, man. Good Lord. This is outrageous, man. It's out of control. I love it on a Wednesday. So the Steelers just trying to keep them in this. Both teams trying to keep each other in the ball game, I guess. Let's see what the Ravens come out. Can the Ravens take the lead here? Can the Ravens actually take the lead right here? 4:30 left in the first quarter. 43, over 43. I mean, am I going to have to look for the opposite way to save money instead of make money here? There's been no offense in the game. We might have 13 points on the board in the first quarter. It looked like a false start by the Ravens, and it was. So they'll move back. I don't think the Ravens are even going to score on offense. Let's see. Maybe kick a field goal. Obviously, a field goal certainly would help them here. 4:30 to go in the first quarter. False start here on Baltimore. It's always the way you like to keep it up here. Yeah, Jim Sands from FanDuel, keeping the tree lighting in primetime was a good choice. It certainly was. But can we complain? How are we going to complain out here when we got Wednesday afternoon football, man? Still 11.5s out there across the. This is going to be really interesting. 15. Like, where did you get this from? Look at that. Fox Bet, it's got 15. Bet 365's got 11. See that stuff? Ooh, and you can make some money flipping in and out on that stuff if that's what you're into. Dump off pass by the Baltimore Ravens. It's a nice move. Picks up about 5 yards. Now we got 2nd and about 10. 4:20 with a running clock here. Really could use a field goal here from under 42.5. Didn't have an official play on the site here with Right Wager, but we're saving up a couple things for the weekend. I was really pissed off Monday night. Things didn't go my way from a betting perspective. You know, got a little bit of bad luck. I probably deserved a 1-2 on Sunday. But the fact that the Miami Dolphins, peeled out 1st and goal from the 4-yard line, 2 minutes, 3 timeouts, and just took knees, that one hurt. So, all right, here we go. 2nd and 9. RG3 on a quarterback keep. Almost like a full sweep play. Nice play by RG3. 1st and goal inside the 5. What do we get down to the 4? RG3. Woo! Hey. The Halo rule. Halo rule. Trying to read some stuff on your Twitter. Some people have the most nonsense stuff. So we got 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Now, if the Ravens score here, do you get a nice price back on the Pittsburgh Steelers when it comes up here? That's what'll be interesting here. Let's see. 1st and goal. 3 minutes to go on the clock, 4-yard line. Shotgun one back. Runs it. He's down to about the 2-yard line. So there you go, man. Way to do it. Interesting stuff there. All right, let's see what we got here. We'll stay on for at least the first half of this game, definitely. Have some fun. All right, so we got the Ravens 2nd and goal from about the 2. You might as well just keep running it in. Steelers dropped to 9.5 on the live line, so again, you would get some value if you figure they were going to stop them over the next 2 plays, but I'm not really in that camp right now. Timeout on the field, so going to go to commercial break. 2:12 left in the first quarter. Pittsburgh 6-0, but obviously the Ravens knocking on the door. How are we feeling out there on this game, huh? Any thoughts either way so far? Change your mind? Now, again, if you took this has to be a dream scenario if you're the Ravens, right? You give up a pick 6. You don't look like you have any offense, and yet here you are ready to take the lead early in the second quarter, man. Oh, here we go. Hold on. Oh, it was at the end of the first. I'm sorry. At the end of the first quarter. It was a timeout. I'm sorry. 2nd down and goal. They're going to run the ball right up the middle of Gus. Gus, he should be in. I think he's in, and he is in. So we got 7-6 now. Oh, man. The Ravens got the lead, boy. Well, actually, you know what? You do count it as the lead because you say, well, maybe they can miss the extra point. Yeah, it's Auto Tucker coming up here. So nice running play. It's one of those, it looks just like Lamar Jackson was in on that one. Hard run by Gus Johnson. The Gus boss. Gus Edwards. Gus Edwards. Sneaks it in. 7-6. Here we go, Steelers. Boy, it would be great if the Steelers actually lost this game. Like, this was the Steelers' first loss. Are you kidding me? On a Wednesday to a COVID-ravaged team? I don't think it happens. I just don't. That gives you hope if you're a Ravens backer there. I told you, the defense is going to play strong. I just didn't think their special teams would help them out there with a dropper here. Let's see Auto Tucker. I already said it's guaranteed good, and it is. I'll tell you, when you bet, with the Baltimore Ravens, you bet with some of these really good field goal kickers, it's such a nice feeling where anything inside of 50 is just automatic. And they're showing that replay again of that fumbled punt return. I mean, you got to be an idiot. You just fair catch it, man. Unbelievable stuff. But Gus gets in the end zone. It's probably the guy that you thought would score there for the Baltimore Ravens, right? Just keep pounding away. But RG3 almost slipped into the end zone on that first one. That was pretty impressive. See, we got some live lines here. Pittsburgh Steelers down 1 point, now sitting at 8.5. You know what I would like out of the Steelers here on this next drive, to be honest, though? I would like them to punt the ball away. Can we possibly get the Steelers somewhere around that touchdown range? If we get them somewhere around that touchdown range, we could do some damage on that. Maybe jump in on that. Over-under now jumps up to 46.5. So, yeah, he will. Kyle will definitely jinx the Steelers if we brought him in here. He's probably saying it as we speak. I'm telling you right now, square or not square, I'm probably going to have a couple different maneuvers this weekend for football and right wager. We've been specifically doing well. It was a losing week last week, but doing well on our team totals. But now start to dip into some of these sides with these colder weathers. And I would like to say about the haves and the have-nots in football, who's trying to win, who's not trying to win, and trying to isolate maybe some first half action that we can bring some dollars around on. Combat 60, I agree. I like that under 46.5. That's what it is right now at 365 too. I do. It's still going to play. You're not going to have these ridiculous. It's funny because there should be no points on the board. Nobody should have scored right now, except maybe the Steelers for 3 points on that first drive, which, we saw what they did. But outside of that, you probably shouldn't have any points on the board. But I do like that look right there. I think that's well worth it, and I think that's a good price by you there. I'll still stick with the under 42.5 when we started the game. I was actually hoping, and again, I was hoping for maybe a scoreless or 3-0 first quarter where you can sit on that 30 number, because some of those crazy things do happen in the NFL where you get the pick sixes, obviously, or you get the fumbles on punt returns. But now they got the lead. But again, like looking at this game, like you're just looking for some action, or maybe I was even going to put out a play, because I'm not going to lie, I really like that Pittsburgh Steelers first half at 6.5. Honestly did. But that looks like it's a little bit up in smoke. But keep in mind also, Mike Tomlin loves to go for 2. So let's just say somehow this, it's still 7-6, but the Steelers end up cashing in a touchdown. They'll probably go for 2 to make it 14-7, which could still save you on that action. All right, so we're going to get a kickoff here, 2:07. Let's see what Tucker does. Typically, it's a little harder for football now. So he's going to come out of the end zone. Steelers returning it and gets back to the 20-yard line. So good. No flags on the play. 2:03 left in the first quarter. Big Ben comes back out. We'll see. Interesting to see how the Ravens treat this, or excuse me, the Steelers treat this drive. They haven't been one to run the football, so when we know that. Maybe they'll get more aggressive here on this end of it. Let's see. Well, that'll dictate, maybe even a flipping field position or something like that. Practice reports come out on Wednesday. I do like Wednesdays. I certainly do. All right. Let's see what we got here. Big Ben coming out 3 for 6, 18 yards and an interception. Both quarterbacks got interceptions here in the first quarter. Short dump off over the middle to the tight end. Picks up about 6 or 7 yards, and they should be able to get that all day long. We'll see if they go a little bit of tempo in here. Looks like they are going a little bit of tempo here. No huddle. Big Ben calling the plays out. Shotgun one back. 1:41 left on the clock here. I need the Steelers to get a couple first downs here so we can start, peeling back that over-under number again. Handoff. It looks like that's Snell. Picks up about 3 yards. So be about 3 yards. Be about 3rd and 2. 3rd and long one in that range. Steelers go back into the huddle. It's a big play right here for the Baltimore Ravens defense. See what they get out of this. All right. 3rd and 2. Yeah, 3rd and 2. That's what I figured it was going to be. Running clock now under a minute here in the first quarter. Juju goes in motion. Quick out. That's a Pittsburgh Steelers favorite. 3-yard pickup here on a wide receiver. Basically a wide receiver swing pass, if you would say. Picks up the first down. That's perfect, because even if they punted the ball back, now at least you're going to get some chunks on this drive here. Over-under drops to 45.5. What are they doing at Fox Bet? It's probably like something ridiculous. No, it's still 45.5. Not bad. Not bad at all. But Juju picks up the first down. We'll see if they have to run another play here before they get out of the first quarter. 31-yard line. 15 seconds left to go. Play clock's at 11, so they have to get a snap off here. They can't just get out of dodge. Big Ben drops back to pass. Quick out on the sideline. Running back shakes a couple defenders. About a 15-yard gain, so nice play there. That'll take us to the end of the first quarter with the Steelers driving and a 7-6 first quarter. That's what makes gambling. That's what we do call it gambling at times, where you just don't see some of this stuff coming in, man. You just don't see it. Pick six is one way. Let's say you bet the Steelers so far, right? You drive it all the way down, 1st and goal. You can't punch it in. Big Ben throws an interception in the end zone. Like, damn it, man. Could have got points there. Just talking from like a first half backer. RG3 throws the pick six. Doop. I'm like, all right, man. 7-0. I'm on my way for the first half. Just have to play it basically straight up the rest of the way. And then you miss the extra point. It doesn't sound like a lot, but that's a scoring drive. Like that one extra point is a scoring drive. Steelers favored by 9. I still think the Steelers win by double digits in this game. But as I said again, I actually would like Steelers now. I don't know, maybe get a first down, maybe not even get a first down, but punt the Baltimore Ravens deep. And then I'm going to get interested in the Pittsburgh Steelers, because sooner or later the bottom is going to drop out on the Ravens in this game. I truly believe that. I don't think you're going to be able to to keep it closer win with RG3 at quarterback and so many players missing, specifically on the offensive side of the ball. Sooner or later, the Steelers are just going to impose their will and say, all right, Ravens, you get like, do we see the Ravens, honestly, driving down the field, 80-yard drive against the Steelers defense? I don't see it. I don't see it at all. So that's what we'll have to keep in mind in this one here. So just taking a look, spinning through a couple of things. Look at that. Yeah, right there on YouTube. Yeah. Hit that share button. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up button. I got to tell you, it comes in pretty clear. Pretty clear here when you take a look through StreamYard on the back end of it. I don't do it that much to come on. Usually, I'm doing other network stuff and hanging out. So it's nice just to hang out on the home base and don't need any earpieces in. Nobody yelling in my ear. Get in, get out of this. Remember this, remember that. Just sitting back, relaxing, watch some football with the boys on a Wednesday afternoon. College basketball in full swing, keeping an eye on it. Tonight, I got to keep an eye on 2 games. I'll be doing some Texas A&M action, some Oregon action tonight. Got to do some things for those 2 games tonight. So I got a busy night ahead of me. Won't be done till around midnight, which is fine. Hey, when you work in sports and basically you watch sports and have to do data for sports for a living, it ain't a bad life. It really isn't. Put my college degree to work in that aspect. 9.5, just getting some updated numbers here. 9.5 minus 120 for the Steelers, 45.5 in that range. And again, nothing really coming off of the offense. All defensive, points in action. The Ravens had 2. The Ravens won the first quarter, had 2 turnovers inside basically their own 20-yard line and still held the lead. That's amazing. Steelers hand off the football on 1st and 10. Hard run for about 3 yards to the outside. So the Steelers have crossed over into Ravens territory as we start the second quarter, now at the 49-yard line. So we got that going for us here. Running clock, keep it moving. Now's the time. Now's the time that we want to see the punt, right? Now's where you want it. Maybe you don't even want it. What am I saying? Like you pin the Ravens deep, you probably pick 6 them again. So who the hell am I to say that's what we want? But Steelers got the ball at the 49-yard line, 2nd and 7, Big Ben in shotgun formation. No running backs. Takes a shot deep. Great catch. That's a great catch. Could have called pass interference too. Eric Ebron down to the 21-yard line. So now we're out the door with that punt and an injury. The safety Elliott is down for the Baltimore. Oh, double injuries for the Baltimore Ravens. I can't see who that actually is. But 2 guys shaking up on the play. Elliott gets up, waves off the trainers and runs back out. But there's going to be a commercial TV timeout because there's another Raven injured in the field. So here we go on this one. Over under now 11.5 for the Steelers. Tom, when did you officially start this business? Now, it wasn't really 07. Like I was doing a lot of things. Like I graduated college in 2000. Worked in mortgages for about 10 years. Bought a couple businesses. Got out of the mortgage business. Bought a couple businesses myself. Did that for a while. But I was also getting my sports betting career underway right around that like 2009 range when I figured that's what I wanted to do. And this was before even New Jersey was making any pushes to have legalized gambling whatsoever. But I always was a gambler my whole life, always had a passion for it. And I basically taught the business myself. I wasn't really a IT guy or involved in all that stuff, but it just started adding on and, getting the camera, learning how to use YouTube, built my own website on GoDaddy. The first one I ever had at Right Side Value Plays was my original site. Built that early, 2010, 2011 in that range. Built it myself. It was so much fun to do that. And then, got some developers working on other sites and putting stuff out there and doing that. But it's not an overnight success story. Been at this a really long time. And it's a hard business to get into. Like you do need some talent. You need some chops to come on and host shows because, I love to host shows. And I think I'm pretty good at doing those. I can fit in any type of personnel, host, not be the host, be the center point of the show. I enjoy doing it all, but I really do like hosting shows the most because you can work in and out. Like you see me and Kyle on the shows at Sportsbook Review. It's a lot of fun. And I really enjoy talking NFL action. You know, me and Jason Radowitz do the baseball show and sportsbook review. I love talking Major League Baseball. I even love college basketball. I do. It's one of my favorite sports. But I'm a one-track mind type guy. Like when I'm in NFL season, I like to give it all, my all, you know, watching everything to make sure I can give out the best information. And I'm not just saying, hey, I got one eye on college basketball, one eye on the college football scene, and then one eye on the NFL. You guys don't deserve that when we do shows. Like you want somebody all in on that. You don't want somebody doing an NBA show and the same day doing a college football show and an NFL show. That's not what it's about. Like I want to be hanging out all day long just surfing for NFL stuff. I want to watch games on tape and break it down and say, hey, this is what I'm going to look forward to coming up in the next game. 14, we're back in the game after the injury timeout. Steelers 1st and 10 from the 22-yard line. Quick out to Eric Ebron, about 7 yards on that play. Running clock here under 13 minutes. Over under still at 47 and now 47 and a half. So it's getting away from us a little bit here. No, but thanks. Yeah, no, I enjoy it. It's a lot of fun. It's a tough business, though, because when you're trying to rise up and grind in this business, there's a lot of anchors and, you know, haters that try to keep you down. But usually when you finally latch on to something, they usually give up on it, say, hey, maybe he is decent at this. And then they go back on the next guy trying to fight his way up. So it's a dirty business overall, but there's a lot of really good people in it. There's a lot of really bad people in it. Same as any walk of life, same as cops, same as firemen, same as, you know, whatever. Doesn't matter. Not everybody's great, but the majority of the people in this business are. 1st and goal here for the Steelers. So they're about to knock this. It is worth it. It is. Otherwise, I wouldn't do it. But then again, you know, I'm probably one of the few guys that's, you know, married with a kid that's able to do this job because it's mostly a singles game, so to speak, where you're spending 24/7 on a phone. You're doing shows all day long. I don't have weekends off. You know, weekends are my busy time. You know, we usually take your wife out and your kid and do stuff, plan vacations around it. I really can't go on vacation all that much. Let's try to plan something around like that Major League Baseball break in the summer. But when you're 24/7 doing shows, you can't just be off a show because you're paid A to do that show, and B, do you want anybody to take your spot? Like, hey, man, Donnie was off the show. The other guy was way better than Donnie is. You don't ever want to let that happen. Looks like Jimmy Smith is hurt now for the Baltimore Ravens walking off, so this could get ugly really fast. But it's what we thought it would be, though. Steelers coming back into play now. That 6.5 now is going to start looking pretty good. And I told you, if they score a touchdown, 1st and goal, if they score a touchdown, I think they're going for 2. I really do. Big Ben, 6 of 6, 69 yards on this drive here. So see if he's able to cash it in. But, you know, I might get a little bit away because I thought it was going to be 26-13 was my call. It still could be, though. You know, still could be. All right, let's see what we got here. 1st and goal from the 5-yard line. Heavy set formation. Only one wide receiver out to the left. Running back in the backfield. They hand it off. He loses 3 yards. Ravens were ready for that one. So now we'll have it 2nd and goal from about the 7-yard line in that range. They weren't having any of that stuff. 12.5. Let's see. What are we doing on Unibet here? 12.5 there still as well. Fox bet 11.5. 47 on that end. 47.5 here at Bet 365. I wanted to struggle because I wanted that thing to drop. Now I'm just going to be hanging on to that over-under that we're going to have. I want to see if that final score does still end up the way I think it's going to be. All right, so we got the Steelers now 9 plays, 73 yards, 5 minutes off the clock. 2nd and goal from the 7-yard line here. Big Ben in shotgun takes the snap, throws over the middle, and dropped it. Dropped it in the end zone. No flag on the play either. We're going to have 3rd and goal again from the 7-yard line. Let's see if Big Ben presses on this one. What do you guys think here? Big Ben presses on here. Another turnover. Let me see what happened on this play. He was going to Chase Claypool on the outside. Again, red zone. They love him in there. Beat his man. It looks like just a great play by Marlon Humphrey. Oh, fantastic play by Marlon Humphrey. That's something we don't see here in Philadelphia too much, that last play. Knocked away at the last moment. Should have been a great pass, great route, even better play by the defender. So you can't get too angry at that stuff. All right, so we got 3rd and goal from the 7-yard line, 11:55 back on the clock. Nothing showing up here on Bet 365. Blitz coming in, throws it short, and dropped again. That's a big thing. That's big for us now. That was big. So now the Steelers only going to settle for a field goal here with 11:52 left in the 2nd quarter. That was big. Steelers should have had a touchdown, but couldn't get it together. Jesus, hit him right in the hands. It's a bad spot. So 45.5 looks like we'll drop back down to there. And Deontay Johnson coming up lame. Tough snap there, but short kick, and it's good. Steelers reclaim the lead 9-7, 11:50 left in the quarter. 46.5. So it didn't really, surprised it didn't drop more than that. 45.5 at Unibet. 46 at Fox Bet. 46.5. Bet 365. 9.5. See, I wanted the Steelers to punt that last drive, not even score at all. So we'll see if it gets back into it on this. Couple things coming through on the practice reports here. Danny Amendola practice limited for Detroit. Mitchell Trubisky getting his second start. Do you want to lay down with those fleas? You guys know I love it. I love when I see, teams that people don't want to get on. I hate Mitchell Trubisky. I think he's an awful quarterback. But sometimes when you find value, man, you find value in the oddest places. Like I'm even looking again at the Philadelphia Eagles. But the one thing I can't have is if I can get a clean practice report that says A, and it looks like Zach Ertz is going to come back this week for the Eagles. But B, just say Wentz is your starting quarterback. And don't be putting in the kid that isn't ready to play in Jalen Hurts. Because if you bet the Philadelphia Eagles on a team total, even aside, and Jalen Hurts is the quarterback, man, just load up on Green Bay. They'll flatline the Eagles, even though they probably will, regardless of who starts at quarterback. But I'm certainly not going for a rookie that looks like he ain't ready to play yet. I mean, we saw that already in Philadelphia for the good side when Ben DiNucci came to town. That kid can't play football. That's not a football player, man. But, I mean, Jalen Hurts was still drafted in the second round, had a ton of success in college. But have you guys watched any Eagles games when Jalen Hurts comes in? What does he do? Hand off and look timid in the pocket? Come on, man. Get out of here with that nonsense. Didn't you have an offseason on that? Stop the madness. 9-7 Steelers here, 11:52. We'll hang on right to the half. So we'll go for at least another half hour here. Have some fun, relax. Then I got to fill out my forms for Sportsbook Review for our NFL Key Show tomorrow. Join us there, 4 o'clock p.m. Usually get to go over a Thursday night football game, some props, some bets. No Thursday night football game, as you guys know. That was pushed back to next week. So now you got, it still says on my odds board 2-3 games on Monday, but there's 2 games on Monday. One is also going to be pushed back to Tuesday, which is nice. I wish they would have pushed it back to Tuesday afternoon. Like, put another 3:40. You should have a game every week on Wednesday at 3:40. Forget about Maction, right? Who the hell needs Maction? This is Maction right here. All right. About to get the kickoff here. We'll see where this ends up. I want to see how fast these live feeds are on these sports books here. My non-HD feeds, it's decent. It's so odd watching games in non-HD and side by side watching it in HD. I wish they just had the 8. I wish they didn't have any 8-second delays on this, but let's see. So there's the kickoff. It is a touchback. So it's not all that fast. I'm watching Bet365's live screen, but it is pretty quick. But again, they're getting it faster than we are getting it through the TV. So, all right. What are we thinking here on this drive by the Ravens? Still in the game, 9-7, own 25-yard line. Are we taking our time just to see if we can, work a couple first downs and see what happens? Are we getting nasty with the Ravens on offense here? What are we doing here? Let's see. Let's see how conservative they get on first down. Maybe a dump off in the flat. Maybe a handoff. Shotgun formation here for RG3. Let me see what formation we in here. Twins to the top left. Tight end to the bottom. 2 running back set here. Handed it off, and that's going to lose 3 yards. So I'm amazed. I'm amazed that Baltimore even has 7 points. That's just outrageous. So now we got that running clock back, 45.5. So now we're starting to come back down on that total. Yeah, I like putting Jason out there. Yeah, I do. Vitalis out there checking in. Look at Vitalis out there on Periscope. I like it. Stuff more than a pizza. Second down and 11. I thought he lost more than 1 yard on that, but let's see what happens here. 4 wides, tight end in the slot, drops back to pass. He's under pressure. Simple dump off over the middle to Hollywood Brown. Picks up about 5 yards. Now we got third down, 11 minutes on the clock, still running. Makes it more manageable for him here. Over under 44.5. I would like to see the Ravens get a first down or two, though. Stop this 3-and-out nonsense, Ravens. Pick up some first downs. Keep that chains moving. Flip field position. Punt them down deep. Then we can see if we can slide that Pittsburgh Steelers live line to that 7 number that we've been waiting on. 9.5, a little bit too much. Over under 44.5, a little bit too much. We got to slide that back. 10:30 on the clock, 3rd and 4. They got to get to the 35-yard line here for a first down. Shotgun, no backs. RG3 under pressure. He goes down. So clock's still going to run. No turnover. 10:15 on the clock and counting. Hopefully we can get off a good punt here. How about a good punt and a penalty to back the Steelers up? Wouldn't that be wonderful? And I know people watching out to that -6.5. You're still well in range if you're Pittsburgh. But now you just can't go down and kick a field goal. You got to really get down there and do some things. Periscope is almost like it's like a almost like a Twitter, but you just shoot live through it. It's live as opposed to posting Twitter like Twitter numerals. All right, so he fair caught the ball, 25-yard line, 9:41, 43.5 now as an over-under, 10.5 now for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So we really need a couple first downs from the Steelers, and a punt would be beautiful again. Not much doing here offensively on either one of these things. It was a good kick for those. I agree with that. It was. So just a little commercial break here. As we head on a Wednesday, looking forward to this weekend in the NFL. Got some time to take a look at a couple of these lines coming up. And again, there's some ugliness out there this week. Detroit, Chicago, ugly. Cincinnati with Allen, a quarterback, versus possibly Tua, ugly. You know what's interesting about that? Are we getting the normal commercials in this game? Because they just took one and they came right back, man. It's fantastic. Big Ben lines up, 27-yard line. Shotgun running back, which is Benny Snell. 3 wide receivers set. Handoff to Snell. Into that. That's where you got to attack the Baltimore Ravens. Pick up about 7 yards up the middle. Running clock. Tick-tock. Tick-tock. That's what we want to see. No tempo. We going tempo? Steelers, huddle up, man. Huddle. Hey, slow it down. Look, when you see the quarterback go like this, when they want to huddle, it's good news. It's good news for your total. All right. Shotgun, 1 running back. Again, same formation, 3 wide. Little motion by Juju. Short pass to the outside. Picks up about 4 yards, but gets a first down, keeps the chain moving. The Ravens say incomplete, but it looked like he caught it. They say no? Let's see. Clock's still running, so they said they caught it, and it's a first down. So, Harbaugh's usually pretty good with challenges. Let's see this again. Slips it outside. Oh, I don't know if he caught that. You could see it. Here's the better view. It's tough to see from that angle, but that ball is coming loose. Didn't challenge it, but I guess you're not really going to challenge for a 3-yard play anyway. Johnson picks up another catch here, about 3 yards. So keep those clock moving there. Steelers need to hurry. Ravens are falling out when they do. Tempo I always like to go tempo on offense. Catch the defense out there napping a little bit. 8:25 on the clock. Over-under drops to 42.5. So now we're right back to where we were when we started at game time. So we'll see if the Steelers can score on this drive. But I want to see a punt on this drive here. Steelers on their own 42, 2nd and 6. Shotgun formation, 3 wide, 1 running back. Quick slip screen to the wide receiver. Steelers do that probably just as good as anybody. Picks up about 9 yards and a first down here to Deontay Johnson. So going to him, a couple straight plays. 7 minutes and 57 seconds left on the clock as the Steelers are now moving the football. Is this the first Wednesday NFL game? I think Taylor H is the first one since like 1949 or something like that. I think that's what it is. Crazy how long that's been. Craziness. Yeah, it is 11.5 at Dallas. It is. First down, 7:35 on the clock. Haven't crossed midfield yet, so still slow as they go. And I guess that if you're the Steelers, it doesn't really matter. Oh, man, Big Ben with a tough, bad pass there in the flat. 7:25 on the clock, 2nd and 10. This is a big drive here because this will determine let's just say the Steelers stall here at the 50. You can punt the Ravens back deep, and the Ravens aren't going to be like, hey, man, let's hustle up and get downfield. Their only objective after that was to maybe pick up a first down and punt it back where the Steelers can't possibly do much before the half. So we'll see what it is. That was Division III, William Patterson, Akbar, North Jersey. It's right outside of New York City. All right, here we go. So Big Ben, 2nd and 10 on his own 49. Going to bring some heat. Crack him in the pocket. Woo! Nice time blitz by the Baltimore Ravens. 3rd and 10 now on an incomplete pass. He had an easy dump off, but when you're an older quarterback that doesn't move all that well, that don't really hold up here. So Big Ben throws it out in the flat. Incomplete. Clock stops again. But this is the play we've been waiting for, us underbackers. 3rd and 10 around midfield. I don't think the Steelers, even if they got, like, let's just say 6 or 7 yards to make it 4th and 3, I still think they punt the football because you're not going to get much out of that Ravens offense. 5 seconds on the play clock. Shotgun 5 wide for the Pittsburgh Steelers. Big Ben lining up, going, he's got a man open. He got him. Yep. About a 20-yard gain here down to the 29-yard line of the Baltimore Ravens. That's the one that we wanted there. We wanted the incomplete pass on that. So now you're hoping for a field goal, but you're not going to get – the problem is we're not going to get the Pittsburgh Steelers at one of those numbers we wanted to get back at that 7 number. So that's going to be gone. I was hoping that would appear and, again, maybe a punt again, but that's never going to show up. Didn't even show up when the Steelers were losing the game. But nice catch, Chase Claypool. Good wide receiver. Marcus Peters drapes ball over him. 1st and 10, 6:44 on the clock. The Steelers on the 29-yard line. Shotgun 5 wide again, bring a little bit of a heat. Crossing route. I do like these crossing routes by the Steelers. About an 8-yard gain. Gets out of bounds. We'll spot the ball, 6:35 on the clock, so that will be running again. But now we're factoring. If the Steelers punch it in for a touchdown here, the game's pretty much over. Look, if you bet the Ravens in this game, I guess you caught lightning in a bottle, and you're not even going to be able to get out of it anyway. But now this is probably going to be one of those last drives here where you need that touchdown for the Pittsburgh Steelers to get that 6.5. You can't afford a field goal here. Let's see what they do. 2nd and 2, 6:06 on the clock. Big Ben with a clean pocket, dump off into the flat. Shakes a defender inside the 10. 1st and goal again for the Pittsburgh Steelers here inside the 10 at the 8-yard line with Benny Snell. 5:50 on the clock and running. And this is going to have to be a last stand by the Ravens. This will have to be a last stand by the Ravens right here. Over-under now jumps up to 45.5 with that play. Steelers minus 13.5. It was a nice stiff arm. Yes, it was. One rush, 8 passes on this drive. 1st and goal from the 8-yard line. Clock is running. Juju Smith-Schuster in a little bit of motion here in the slot. Get right out to him again. That play they love. Didn't get any yards. Actually lost a half a yard on that play. 5:10 on the clock. 2nd and goal. That was the Juju Smith-Schuster. Looked kind of interesting there. Almost like he might have twisted his ankle, but looks all right. 5 minutes running on the clock. Hey, man, this is where it comes in. Because you're also looking at, I think the over-under in the first half was 21. So a touchdown can splash the pot if you had the over, splash the pot if you had the under. Obviously, the Pittsburgh Steelers with a 6.5. This field goal is massive right now. .440 on the clock, shotgun, 1 running back, trips left. Pump fake, throw. Actually, it was a very good throw. Goes to Washington. He is not able to bring it down. So I got 3rd and goal here. Come on, let's get the field goal. Field goal will be so money right here. And it's not like 3rd and goal from the 2. You got the 9-yard line. It's a nice play by Marlon Humphrey. Was it Marlon Humphrey? Can't see. All right, 3rd and goal. Play clock under 10. Let's see what formation the Steelers come out in here. Play clock running down. 3 gets it off. Shotgun 5 wide. Throws it out to the – dropped it. Yes! There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. Steelers can't execute once again in the red zone. brings up a field goal, and that helps. That was big again. Field goals are your best. You can have as many field goals as you guys want out there. Go ahead. It was going to be interesting, too, because it was a nice pass, a nice route. If Ebron is able to turn around and make a move, A, he might be able to score, but B, put your shoulder down and get down to about the 2 or the 1, you probably would go for it again. But stunted, don't run the football at all inside the 10 on first and goal. Field goal is up and good, 12-7 Pittsburgh. That works. That really works for the under. So ugly game so far. It's about what we thought it would be. But that's key for the Steelers backers. Now, if you are the Ravens, that was Marlon Humphrey, just like I thought it was. But if you're the Ravens now, man, you just got to somehow say our main goal is to get a first down and then maybe see if we can push it in the field goal range with Tucker. But outside of that, I don't see what you're really hustling for here. Your only goal is to make it to – if you said, coming into today with all these COVID injuries, starting quarterback out, everything, if you were able to go into the locker room at halftime down 5, you would take that every time, man. You would take it every time. Practice squad or practice information, Alvin Kamara limited with a foot injury. Seems like it's been bothering for a couple weeks. Nick Foles back at practice in limited work for the Chicago Bears, but he's not starting this week. Dalvin Cook gets in limited action on a Wednesday, which is good news because he is battling that ankle injury. Offensive coordinator saying maybe we don't want to run him down. Dalvin Cook said he's fine. We'll see what happens. Matthew Stafford limited to begin the week again. I'm assuming that's still his thumb injury. Yeah, it is. We say Kenny Golladay didn't get into practice today. I don't think. I think they put him out early. But I don't know what the Lions are going to. They're so bad on defense. They really are. Really are. Broncos claimed Will Park off waivers, who was from the Eagles, who was initially a Denver Bronco. And the Eagles picked him up. I don't know what the Eagles do with their pickups. They seem to don't like anybody they pick up and just drop them midway through the season. Key LJ Fort a few years back did that as well. I don't think Big Ben has the urge to beat the heavyweight without Lamar. Well, the one thing that you're wondering in this game of how it would turn out, though, to be honest with you, is how motivation is a factor, because you figure you could beat them by just about doing anything. And again, they are. They're up 12-7. It's not like they're down 12-7, the Pittsburgh Steelers. But in the back of your head, if you're Big Ben, if you're that offense or the Steelers, like they really can't do much on the opposite side. Like we basically gave them a touchdown, and they gave you one also. But if you're the Steelers, you're not pissed. You're going there 12-7. Like, hey, man, we should be putting them away by, but you're still winning. You're not going to lock them like, oh, my God, this hurts. What do you use for a practice injury report? If you go to RotoWire, like if you just type in, I guess in Google, it will come up RotoWire practice reports. And when they get reported at the end of the day, you can scroll team by team. It lists their participation and if they're questionable for the week, out for the week, doubtful for the week. It's great information. Especially with COVID. Now you're trying to get the most out of it, but I like to see the progression towards the week because you can sort of figure who's in, who's out, who's banged up just by going through those reports. Because you never want to bet like, hey, I like this. And then, hey, Thursday practice report, guys, I got a hamstring. It's like, damn it. Those are always tough there. All right, kickoff here is a touchback, 4:27 on the clock. And let's see what they got here. All right, let's see if we got RG3 coming out because, again, a lot of riding on this. A lot is riding on this here. But I use a lot of different stuff. I'm a weather geek as also AZ Jeff. I am a absolute weather geek, man. Like I will go to every single depth of the earth to find out weather in these football games and not take the national media's opinion on it or just some random, website because obviously weather changes on the hour. I'm just feverish when I see something I might be able to take advantage of that people think it's rain or windy when it's really not. First down, loss of 1 for the Baltimore Ravens. Clock running with 4:20 on the clock here. Pittsburgh Steelers do have 3 timeouts. So if you are a Steelers backer here sitting on that 6.5, you still got a chance here, All right. So we got 2nd and 11. Let's see how risky they get. How risky you think they're getting out here? Looks like a Lamar Jackson formation here. 2 running backs in the backfield. Wide receiver in motion. Play action pass. Wide receiver falls down. That's a really bad offense. But what do we think of that anyway? I mean, it's going to be a good operation. I think Des Bryant, Yeah, Des Bryant fell down on that route. Lucky wasn't picked. All right. So we got 11.5, 41.5. You figure also if they punted, well, worst case scenario, another 3 points by the Steelers to make it 15-7, which you're still right on that number. And again, this is going to come down to the fourth quarter. Well, I don't think the Steelers really will be trying to do too much. 3rd and 11 now, 3:47 on the clock. So you're not even using any clock here. You run a quarterback draw, and he gets the first down and more. Whoa. Wow. Oh, my God. RG3 with a great play. Woo! So now if you're looking at your Pittsburgh Steelers on 3rd and 11, you figure that was a give-up play. Now it turns into points the other way. Can we get this back? Huh. Man, that would be nice. Dang. So RG3 looking like spry out here. All right, so now Tucker's in. Look, you're in Tucker range already. You are in Tucker range already, man. 37-yard line, run it up the middle, pick up about 4 yards. Clock is running. 250. Line now for the Steelers down to 8.5. I'm telling you, man, that gets down to 7. I'm going to buy in on that. Over under 44.5. Now, I mean, I still don't think the Ravens are going to score. If the Ravens score a touchdown here, Jesus, it'd be amazing. Let's see what we got here now. So now you got 2:32 running clock. Play clock's at 17 seconds, so you do have to get another snap off here before the 2-minute warning. Steelers still have 3 timeouts. Ravens have 2 timeouts. All right, so we're lining up right around the 33-yard line. 2:15 on the clock. 2 running backs. Who called the time? The flag here. Who's the flag on? Illegal participation on defense. Yeah, it is. Yep, 5-yard penalty on the Steelers. Here we go, Ravens. Too many men on the field for the Pittsburgh Steelers. So I guess what you're hoping for is a field goal by Baltimore, maybe a minute and a half on the clock. Steelers get the ball back and drive down for a touchdown if that's what you're hoping for. 49ers activate Brandon Ayuk. So they're going to be a lot of players back for that game this weekend versus the Buffalo Bills. The only problem is, man, like I won last week with Nick Mullins. It's really hard to have Nick Mullins. It really is. All right, RG3, 2nd and 1 now, so that really helped out. Didn't even give him a first down, but gives you the extra play. 2 men in the backfield, shotgun. So one of your Lamar Jackson formations, 1 wide receiver out to the right, set up at about the 27-yard line. 2-minute warning coming up right now. This will be the last play. RG3, oh, he hurt himself. Oh, my God. RG3 looks like he pulled his hamstring, so he's probably going to be out of the game now. Here comes Trace McSorley going to come in. Wow. He's out. I can type right here and get this out. Jesus. Yep. 2-minute warning. Looks like he pulled his hamstring. Can we get in now on the Steelers? Who's that making the Steelers? I got the Steelers at -7 now. I think I'm going to take that. I jumped to 7.5. Bum. There we go. 7. We got 7 at Fox Bet. Can we get this in? Let's see if I can get in fast enough here. Because now you're looking at a Trace McSorley back. That's 8.5 now. Son of a bitch. Man, that hurt. They were up for a second, too. 7.5. 1 at 7. I really did. Oh, there's 7 again. Can I get it? Let's see. Ravens and the Steelers. I'm going to jump in on the Steelers here. We're going to go Steelers -7. Don't you dare take that away from me either. Come on. Get in. Boom. We're in. All right. So now I got Steelers -7 in this game. What you're hoping for now is just a field goal. You're going to have Trace McSorley in the football game. But if RG3 is forced to stay, he can't run. You can't run with a hamstring. So now we're in there. Good. Let's go. We'll put that on Twitter too. All right. We'll get that one in there. That's nice. So that's going to be nice. We got exactly what we want. Or I got exactly what I wanted there with -7. Perfect. Perfect. So now you're down to your third string quarterback who doesn't get much burn in the NFL, going up against that Steelers defense in the second half. So we're in on that. We'll see who comes out, but that'll end the day for RG3, or at least of his effectiveness. And you saw what was his most effectiveness out there? Running the football. Yeah, it's off the board, Vital. So now Fox Bet's not even on the board anymore. Took it off. That's what's great, man. When you got a lot of open books here, specifically in New Jersey, like you saw me, I was just going through a couple of them real quick. Some were changing 7, 7.5, 8, 8.5, 8, 7, and back to 7.5. Was able to get that in at the Steelers -7.5. So we'll be able to knock this down. The RG3 looks like he's going to stay in the game, but that's not a cramp right there. Or even if it is a cramp, he's going to be done. That's a hammy. Yeah, he could barely play. He'll probably try to gut it out, but he's not going to be nearly as effective anymore. So that should be able to take that away. Let's see what happens. He's staying in the game, being a trooper. So let's see what he's got. Drops back to pass. He doesn't look all that bad right there. Well, he just missed an open player too. Well, now here's the key part of it, because it's clear he did hurt his hamstring. But here's the issue. He's got to gut it out, because you don't just want to go to Trace McSorley, basically give the game up, and he's been waiting for years to do that. But that hamstring is going to tighten up as the game goes on. Now you're going into halftime. Was he going to get a shot? Is it going to be like Coach Bud in Varsity Blues? Get that needle away from him. It's basically what he's going to need here. But I don't think he's going to be that effective. So you're going to count on a Baltimore. Obviously, Tucker's automatic as it is. So he'll be able to make that field goal from whatever distance it is. RG3 calling a timeout. Here's the play clock ran down. They're going to be down to one timeout, but I don't think that's really going to be too much of an issue with 1:53 left here on the clock. We'll hang on here to the half, but I do like that. Yeah, New Jersey's it'll come the rest of the country. Akbar, it's coming. Everybody's going to have a chance at this once this jumps in, and all these sports books out here jumping in, the more the better. So many different odds. Like you just see, like you can bounce through. It used to be like you had an offshore account, which was damn near impossible to get money out of, and they charge you for your own money. And, everything even, across the board. But it's coming here. It's coming. All right, let's go here. Timeout on the field, as we said. Let's see if we get any live bets up here at all. 8.5, 44.5. Here we go. 2nd 10, shotgun formation. Twins left. Hand the football off, which you thought they were going to do. It doesn't look like he has too much of a lane here. Made a nice move. Gets about 1 yard. Better than a loss. But it looks like the Baltimore Ravens, I don't even know if they're going for a touchdown at this point, man. So we'll see what we got here next. Did the Steelers call time? Doesn't look like the Steelers even called timeout either, but they're going to have 3 timeouts, I guess. It depends of I can't imagine the Ravens running the football again. Are they playing for the field goal? I guess maybe. And just saying, hey, let's see what happens. DJ Chark practices here for the Jacksonville Jaguars today. All right, so running clock here, 1:12. Steelers still with 3 timeouts, play clock under 5. They are at the 24-yard line. And they handed it off again on 3rd and 9. And he got the first down. Wow. Oh, wow. Oh, my goodness, Steelers D. Oh. Oh, man. 3rd and 9 handoff. TJ Watt blows right by the play, breaks 2 tackles at the 11, fights his way all the way inside the 5. Oh, that hurt me right there. You got to be kidding me with this. And he's in. Oh, he's shorter than 1. 30 seconds to go. 1 timeout left for the Ravens. And I guess they called a timeout right there. Oh, my God. I can't even believe this. What is this? Yeah, he's short. He's barely short, but he is short. Oh, my God. That hurts, man. I don't want to lose any money on this game for that. And it's going to hurt the over-under at the same time. Oh, man. Good Lord. And also, if you're TJ Watt on that play, like RG3's got the football. You know he's not running, right? No timeouts remaining. But even if they do not get this, you have plenty of time to, jog Jason Tucker out here. So we'll see how that backs up here. I like that at 5.5. I do. Yeah. That 7 was all predicated on the field goal because it would have made the game 12-10. You figure going into the second half, Pittsburgh's going to outscore them by a touchdown, and that will be that. But now it throws it off a little bit here. All right, let's see what happens here. 2nd and goal, 26 seconds left. I doubt RG3 is going to line up in shotgun. It would be stupid if they did. All right, let's see what happens here. First thing from right about the 1 yard line. Yep, under center, tight formation here. He can't run. They're not going to bootleg him out. Handoff right up the middle. Stopped. Yeah. All right, so they held him to a field goal. Perfect scenario. Bet that Vitals to 5.5. That's it, man. Wait, going for this? Oh boy. Oh my God. Yeah, he dropped it. Yeah. Yes. There we go. Huge. No points. Huge. Ooh, great for the total. Great for the 7. Boom. Fantastic. That was wonderful. Should have had the tutty too, man. Woo! Great play, Minka. Great play. That's how we do it, boys, right? Yeah. First half stays under on a miracle. Now we got 19 points for the game. We got some touchdowns to play with in the second half. You got a banged up RG3. Wonderful stuff right here. Wonderful stuff. That worked out perfectly right there. Thank you, RG3. Even better than we thought, right? Absolutely even better than we thought. So Steelers up 5 at the break. That'll just about do it. I got to get to work on a couple other things, but maybe we'll do this more with the Thursday night football games that are coming up, or maybe next Tuesday night we can have some fun doing it. But that's fantastic stuff. So thank you guys for chiming in. If you haven't done so yet, hit the subscribe button on the YouTube channel. Get the thumbs up. Whatever you guys like, appreciate it. Fun hanging out, talking a little bit of football for the half. And again, don't have any earpieces in, so that was beautiful. Have a good rest of the second half, guys. You know what I'm on. Still under the 42.5, but did take the Steelers live, -7. Let's root these on. Good luck, boys.